Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And we're at those times, man. These days are speeding up rapidly. Actually, before I get into anything, let me just jump to Matthew 24. All right, because the time is flying, man. Time is flying, and this is a great thing if you're serving the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. Matthew 24 and 22. You know what? I'll start at 21. Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor never shall be, nor ever shall be. All right, so a time of great evil is coming that has never happened on the earth before, man. That's how bad it's about to get, man. It's how extremely bad it's about to get. This is why it's high time to serve the Lord, man. Verse 22 is the point I wanted to get to. And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And Lord willing, we're part of that number of the elect, man. All right, because these days are flying by, and these signs, these prophecies are popping off like crazy, man. All right, so let me jump into this article right here, and it says Saudi Arabia considers accepting Chinese yuan for oil. Now, Chinese yuan is the equivalent to the U.S. dollar. This is the Chinese currency. All right, and this is major news. All right, because the U.S. currently has a hegemony of power with the dollars, right? Because oil is traded using the U.S. dollar denomination. All right, so once other nations stop using dollars to trade oil and other things at that, the U.S. dollar is going to collapse. It's going to take the country with it, man. All right, so it says Saudi Arabia has been in negotiations with China about allowing China to buy oil with Chinese yuan instead of the U.S. dollar. Talks began 1 week after the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the UAE Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan both declined phone calls from President Biden concerning increasing Saudi oil production to ease soaring gas prices due to the conflict in Ukraine. Now, that's highly disrespectful. All right, if you are a leader of a country, if you are the president of a country, if you are the president of the greatest country, so called, on the face of the earth, and you're reaching out to other people, other leaders, and they're ignoring your phone calls, man, that's embarrassing, man. But that lets you know the state that America is in, all right? The relationship between the U.S. and the Saudis has been becomingly increasing strained in the last few years. The relationship seems to have worsened under President Biden after candidate Biden said Saudi Arabia should be a pariah concerning the 2018 killing of journalist Khashoggi. After the Afghanistan withdrawal, Saudi Arabia has entered into multiple international military cooperation agreements, including cooperation agreements with Russia. All right, and that's huge too, because these nations are starting to team up and they're hating the whore, man. All right, this is why U.S. is getting ignored, because the beast is starting to hate the whore. All right, and this is all biblical prophecy, man. All right, I'm not gonna read this whole thing. Let me skip down to this paragraph. Actually, there's meat in a lot of this. I'll just fly by it. This was an unexpected decision by the Saudis. In May 2021, the U.S. passed a law requiring sanctions on any country buying weapons from Russia. The Saudis knew this and went to Russia anyways, as did Egypt purchasing fighter jets. So Egypt and Saudi Arabia are not caring about what the U.S. sanctions or what the U.S. says. They're still going to Russia to do business deals, right? The Saudis seems to be preparing to move away from the allegiances to the United States and to the petrodollar. All right. Let me jump down to this. What is the petrodollar? Since 1974, an agreement between the United States and Saudi Arabia, known as the petrodollar, has kept most of the oil trade in dollars. The U.S. agreed to provide military support and cheap weapons, and Saudi Arabia agreed to keep the oil trade in dollars. Currently, around 80% of all international oil trade happens in dollars. Right, the U.S. dollar has the hegemony of the world's currencies, man. The petrodollar has benefited both countries, but is profoundly important for the U.S. This is important right here, and I'm gonna stop at this. It allows the U.S. government to operate on large deficits and enables foreign investments being made in dollars profited from the oil trade. This idea is called petrodollar recycling. All right, so the reason that the U.S. is 30 trillion in debt and still operating at a high capacity is mainly because of the petrodollar, man. All right, but let me get one more. Something else that I wanted to bring out in this article. Yeah, I did understand this right here. Actually, I'll just read this real quick. The petrodollar is the most important element to the international U.S. dollar dominance and political influence in the world. Diversifying away from the dollar could be a major shock to most world markets. Are the Saudis seriously considering abandoning the dollar to use the yuan, or is it just political posturing to dissuade Washington from the Iran nuclear deal, or possibly to restart the military aid against the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen after the recent oil field attack? All right. But the point I want to bring out is the petrodollar is the most important element to international U.S. dollar dominance, man. All right, because once that goes away, and it's a wrap. All right, 30 trillion in debt. If the petrodollar goes away, you can't afford your military. Banks will shut down. This whole thing will collapse. And this is why so-called President Biden is gearing towards when he signed that bill recently, the cryptocurrency bill recently, about 2 weeks ago, he added the U.S. government has to start looking into a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. All right, because they're moving away from the dollar and going digital. Why is that? So they could start implementing the MOTB, man, the mark of the beast. All right, but this is second Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right? People think that, with all this free money being passed around with these PPPs and in these loans, right? And these tax refunds and these child tax credits, and people think that since they have access to grocery stores and Amazon and Uber Eats and everything could just come, everything is just a click away. Honestly, anything you want is just a click away. People think because society is built this way that they're in a good case, all right? But all this is gonna come crashing down in an instant, man. All right. 2 Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. All right. When that U.S. dollar collapse, and you refuse to get the MOTB, or you lose everything in the conversion to the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, you're gonna start to starve, man. All right. 2 Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger. So even if you are able to buy food, even if you're able to find food, even if people are charitable enough in those times, which would be amazing, to give you food, but you're able to survive, you're still gonna die, man. All right, because the sword is gonna destroy you, man. This is why it's important to start serving the Lord as we speak, man. All right, now it's high time, man. Actually, let me get that real quick. Let me jump back to Romans. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that Now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. All right, these prophecies are, happening at a rapid pace, man. You might not see it with your eyes, right? But they're happening, man. Yeah, it's happening at a rapid pace, man. I mean, we see it with our eyes. I'm talking about the people that don't believe, man. The people that are still asleep. They don't see it, man. They believe that this is all a dream and everything's gonna go back to normal, and they're gonna wake up from out of that dream, man. But no, you're in a deep sleep, man. All right. Actually, let me jump back to there's a point I wanted to get to in Amos. Like Second Ezra 16:22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the store destroy. And this goes hand in hand with Amos 5, man. Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So you might escape the lion, you might escape the bear, but the serpent is still going to get you, man. And that's spiritual, because the serpent is likened to Esau, which is the sword of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And what does Second Ezra say? Second Ezra 16 says, if you escape the famine, you're still going to get destroyed by the sword, man. All right. Let me go on a couple more. I'm gonna wrap up. It's in the same book. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. I'm sorry, verse 10. All right. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for the merchant people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off. All right. So when it says a cry from the fish gate and a howling from the second and a great crashing from the hills, that's talking about economic crashes, man. The fish gate would be the Great Depression. The second one would be the 2008 crash, 2007, 2008 crash, which still technically Babylon has never recovered from. The only way they got out of it was by printing more money. All right, which is ultimately just kicking the can down the road. Eventually, the road is going to end, and where you're going to end up at is at the great crashing from the hills, man. That's the thing that's going to wipe out the U.S. dollar, man. And this, what you're seeing right now with Saudi Arabia and China, is the beginning of it, man. All right. Zephaniah 1:11. Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh. All right. For all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off, man. All right. Again, that's talking about a marketplace. An ancient Maktesh was an ancient marketplace back in the day. All right. What's that referring to in this day biblically? The stock market, man. All right. But this is Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All right. I brought that up because, with the talk of the crashing in the U.S. dollar, a lot of people believe that you could buy gold and silver and you'll be straight, right? Which is true in a sense. Gold and silver, are referred to as God's money, because they've been talked about since the days of the scriptures, man. All right. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the MOTB and you have a pound of gold and a pound of silver and you have no food, you can't eat the gold and silver, and you can't sell the gold and silver, because what currency are you going to get in return? All right. This is why your gold and silver won't be able to deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. And plus, when Yahweh Shai returns, man, he's not going to want gold and silver, man. He's going to want crowns, man, off kings' heads, man. All right. He's going to want it in blood. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I want to say shalom and abad rabah.